Tēnā koutou. Nau mai, haere mai. Welcome to the Kaha Queenstown Lakes Community Hub. This platform has been created to provide you with the information you need to make decisions about your future. We hope that through these workshops, you can be empowered to create a plan for yourself. If you're here today or watching online, it's because the last 2 months have been hard for you. You may have been put on reduced hours at work, been given a wage subsidy, or even been made redundant. You've had to register online and had to answer many personal questions about yourself. If you are here today, you've had to pass through security and all the COVID signs to sign in. And you've had to be seated in a room full of strangers, cameras, and officials. You may be sitting here or watching online thinking that something bad may happen to you because of your particular circumstances. Be assured that everyone here has your best interests in mind. Everyone here wants to see you receive the best outcome available to you. You'll be given a lot of information in a small amount of time. You may not be able to hear everything, but don't panic. There is time after these presentations to ask questions, and there are people available to talk to one-on-one to help you create a plan for yourself. You also may hear information today that is upsetting. You may have come here with the hope that this workshop will give you the outcome that you want. For many, this won't be the case. Know that we are here for you. There are people available to talk to work through your situation, and to help provide some clarity to how you can best support yourself. There is a Māori proverb that says, he waka eki noa. It means that we're all in the same boat together. Everyone who comes and attends these workshops have the ability to speak one-on-one with an immigration lawyer, a representative from Immigration New Zealand, travel agents, as well as community support people from our community. If you have used up your financial resources, you can still access help through the qldc website. Here you can find access to food vouchers, food parcels, winter clothing and bedding, as well as financial assistance towards your accommodation and your utilities costs. If you're struggling with the feeling of being overwhelmed, you can free call or text 1737 and speak with a trained counsellor. Otherwise, you can access the local services for one-on-one support. Here in Queenstown, we have Happiness House and the Salvation Army who are available to help you. Their contact details are in the link below. If you need information on employment or tenancy issues, or need to speak to a Justice of the Peace, Citizens Advice Bureau are also available to help. Their information is again in the link below. We hope you find this information helpful and that you can receive the help that you need. Kia kaha.
Hi, my name is Nicola Tiffin. I'm an immigration lawyer and a partner at Anthony Harper. I'm here today on behalf of the Immigration Industry Steering Group to tell you about the Kaha Queenstown and Lakes Community Hub. The Immigration Industry Steering Group has put together a group of immigration lawyers and immigration advisors to provide you with support with your visa situation in Queenstown. The lawyers and the advisors come from the New Zealand AMI, the Auckland District Law Society and NZAIP. What we're here to do is to provide you with some initial advice to help you plan a strategy to help you manage your situation in respect of your visa, staying in New Zealand, or if you need to or want to, leaving New Zealand. The reason we're here to provide advice is because Immigration New Zealand cannot give you advice. All they can do is give you information, but you need to make the decisions about what you do next. When you book in for an appointment to come to the hub, you'll be asked to complete a questionnaire. There's quite a few questions. However, we really would like it if you had answered as many of them as you possibly can. This is because we need to know your situation before we can give you any help. When you come to the hub, please bring with you your passport, your visa information, any papers that you have, and information about your job, including your employment agreement and your CEO, is give you information, but you need to make the decisions about what you do next. When you book in for an appointment to come to the hub, you'll be asked to complete a questionnaire. There's quite a few questions. However, we really would like it if you had answered as many of them as you possibly can. This is because we need to know your situation before we can give you any help. When you come to the hub, please bring with you your passport, your visa information, any papers that you have, and information about your job, including your employment agreement and your CV. This will help us, as I said before, put together a strategy to help you decide what to do next. If you've got special circumstances or your situation means that you have to stay in New Zealand, you will need further advice going forward. If you also need to leave New Zealand, you may also need advice about how to make that happen as quickly and as cheaply as possible. We will give you a list of immigration advisors and lawyers who can help you after that initial meeting. But at least after that initial meeting, you should have a better idea of what your options are and what you need to do. When you do come in, we will also be looking at your family law situation and your employment law situation. For example, you may need some help in dealing with your employer, or there may be some issues with your family with their visas as well. So please come in prepared to talk about all of that situation so we can help you. I look forward to seeing you at the hub.
Good afternoon, everyone. Kia ora. My name's Dave Campbell and I'm a manager with Immigration New Zealand. The events of the last few months with our COVID-19 pandemic have been unprecedented in New Zealand, and none more so than in Queenstown and the tourism and hospitality industry. Immigration New Zealand are in Queenstown to support you to get the right information that you need to make decisions for yourselves and your families. If we don't have answers for your questions, we will go away and get them for you. Understand also that policy decisions are moving at quite a pace in Wellington, and over time the situation will change. As and when that happens, we'll come back to you and update you with the information you need to know. Immigration New Zealand is very happy to be here in Queenstown, and what we understand is that there is a number of you that will want to return to your home countries as and when aircraft are available and the borders are open. For those of you that are in that category, what we urge you to do is register with your consulates and embassies, register with local travel agents, and get in contact with compliance officers at Immigration New Zealand who will be able to put you in touch with airline representatives as and when these flights are occurring. The most important thing to do is to maintain free, open communication. Aligned with that, here today at the Community Hub, we have licensed immigration advisors and immigration lawyers who are available to provide independent advice as to what your options might be. They are here on a pro bono basis. That means the information is provided free of charge, and I would urge you to utilise that service. A number of you will have changes in circumstances in regard to your employment and the conditions of your visas as a result of the COVID-19. Some of you may have job offers or intended job offers from other employers. Those employers now have to undergo labour market checks for those jobs because the focus of the government is on providing jobs for New Zealanders first to ensure that we have a fully engaged workforce. Again, licensed immigration advisors and immigration lawyers can help provide independent advice for you as to what your options might be in regard to that. My final point is just the importance of staying in touch. We are here to provide you with the information you need for decisions for your future. On our website, there are a large number of frequently asked questions which we've distilled down to some of the key themes, which I'm going to ask my colleague Simon Smith to discuss with you. Thank you.
Kia ora, my name's Simon Smith. I'm a manager with Immigration New Zealand and presently here at the Kaha Community Hub in Queenstown. As Dave said, Immigration New Zealand is here to support the migrant community through the current situation as much as we possibly can. The key thing for Immigration New Zealand is to make sure that New Zealanders are placed into work as the first priority so that New Zealanders are able to be as fully employed as possible. Obviously, the labour market situation has changed very dramatically during COVID-19, and unfortunately a lot of people, both New Zealanders and migrant community within New Zealand, have been displaced. So we know that you're in a very difficult situation or may be in a difficult situation, and times are very uncertain for you. So what we want to do is provide you with as much information as we can to assist. Back to the labour market test, what does that mean? That means that if you are applying for a job with another employer and that employer would like to employ you as a migrant, they will need to satisfy Immigration New Zealand that they have attempted to recruit a New Zealander in the first instance. If we are satisfied that they have, then we will go ahead and grant that visa if both the employer and Immigration New Zealand are satisfied that you have the general requirements to do that job. But there will be a labour market test, and obviously that means that things may tighten up in the labour market for migrant workers as New Zealanders are displaced, and we're trying to place those people into work first. One of the other questions that comes up is around reduced hours of work and potentially reduced salary. And many employers may be looking to wish to retain the workforce but are unable currently to continue to pay them at the normal rate or to employ them for the number of hours that are normally required under visa conditions, which would normally be for a minimum of 30 hours a week. If your situation has changed in that regard, it's really important that you let us know so that we can follow up with you, keep in touch, and as things progress in relation to what the New Zealand government is looking at in relation to assistance for migrants in our communities, we can keep in touch with you. We're not going to apply a hard and fast rule at this point in time because we know that employers and migrants are in a very, very difficult situation. So we want to be flexible where we can be, but every individual circumstance needs to be looked at for both the employer and for the migrant so that we can come to the best decision and a decision that meets the requirements of New Zealand government's immigration policy. One of the other things that has come up as one of the key questions is, can I move from one location to another? So if you're currently working in Queenstown and you unfortunately have been displaced from your employment, and you may wonder, can I now work in Nelson or Marlborough or somewhere else in New Zealand? Then you can apply for a visa if an employer is wishing to take you on. Again, that would be labour market tested, and if the employer is satisfied and we're satisfied that that role needs to be filled by a migrant, we can either vary the conditions of your existing visa, or you can apply for a new visa and we will consider that. That will depend very much on the individual circumstances that present. So look, we are here to help you at the moment. We understand absolutely that this situation is unprecedented and is very, very difficult and challenging for everybody concerned. So please come and talk to us. We are available here at the hub, and as Dave mentioned, there are a range of people here that you can talk to. It's really important that we hear your stories, that we can assist as much as possible, and that we can pass information back to other agencies with your agreement that may be able to assist you. So please do come in, keep in touch, and we will do everything we can to assist. Thanks.
Hola, bom dia, buongiorno, konnichiwa, bonjour, hello. We are here at the event centre for the Community Hub, and I'm just wanting to talk to you a little bit about travel and repatriation flights. It's really important, even if you're not planning on travelling home now, that you register with your embassy. Things may change here or things may change at home, And it's important to know what repatriation flights are available when they do become available. So please make sure that you're registering with your embassy. You can find your embassy details on the MFAT website, which is www.mfat.govt.nz/en/embassies. Make sure you register with a travel agent. Travel agents are providing detailed information and advice on the latest commercial flight options, visa and transit requirements, COVID-related international flying requirements, and they can also offer immediate assistance with your existing bookings as well. They work directly with the airlines and can hold flights, see availability online that isn't visible to the public, put people on wait lists, arrange travel bubbles, and organise straight check through to final destinations. It's important to note that travel agents are paid directly by the airline, the same as online travel agencies such as Skyscanner or Webjet, so there's no extra cost to book through them. If the demand is there, travel agents can also work with Air New Zealand to add extra capacity on domestic flights to connect with embassy-organised repatriation flights. And the best way for travel agents to know that there is that extra demand is if you're registering with them, even for the connections to the repatriation flights as well as the commercial options. Do make sure you plan ahead and you're ready to travel. If you're thinking about going home, make sure that you have a plan to get your documents in order, downsize your possessions, talk to your landlord, disconnect your utilities, organise care for your pets and your plants, etc. Repatriation flights we've seen so far have a very short lead-in time, and we have seen travel within literally just a few days, so it's really important that you're ready to go when these become available. There are two different types of repatriation flights, and they are both charter flights. We have organised flights by the embassies, and we also have private charters. So we can only see the government organised charters due to the need to request permission from the New Zealand government via MFAT to land. There are two ways that these flights are organised. Some embassies collect names themselves and they allocate those seats on flights on a need-to-travel basis. Others engage a travel agent and the bookings go through them. There's not an awful lot of option for you to travel home at the moment commercially. There are only 5 flights a week via the USA to Europe and the UK. There are some flights via Australia to the UK and Europe, also with Emirates and Qatar Airlines. But you will know we have absolutely no commercial flights whatsoever through to South America, and access to Asia is particularly difficult as well, with only flights to Singapore, Hong Kong, and Shanghai and Guangzhou, but not for transit, and only if you have a passport for one of those countries that you're travelling to. So it's really important, as you can see there's an awful lot of information, it's really important that you get down to the community hub. It's a great opportunity to get information and advice to help you make informed decisions about staying in New Zealand or returning home. Thank you.